Hi everyone, I'm Joe from FauxVC and today I wanted to talk to you about using AI to check our revenue calculations. So in this example, I've created FauxVC Interim Recruiting, and for this company they have 6 freelancers, so in Netherlands, United Kingdom, Germany, USA, Norway and Sweden. So here I've calculated the expected income over the course of the contract. So we've got the start date, end date, the contract length in months, rate per hour, and functional currencies. So then it uses like the workday international. I've included bank holidays inside of the calculations because, as we know, contractors love to work on the bank holidays, and from this information then I'll put ChatGPT's answer into the reconciliation and we will see the deltas and hopefully get those down to 0. Now we're inside of ChatGPT, I want to connect to the Excel file which has the contract information in. So I select my file from the OneDrive, I say, hi ChatGPT, could you please show me the table of contracts in this file? And then now we'll hopefully see the same table which we see in our Excel file. Sometimes there can be some issues, but with some additional prompts we should get the information that we need and that we would like to see. So we're just analyzing the file and we can see that we've got our contract information. So we have our contract numbers, 6 contracts, the countries, the business analyst, the contract length in months, the rate per hour, the day rate based on this expected daily hours, the currency start date and end date. So I'll say for my recruiting company, I would like to get the monthly expected incomes for January 2024 to December 2024 as an extension of this table. Our contractors usually work on bank holidays as they are generally pretty busy and they take the weekends off because they need, to rewind a little bit. So then we'll see what information we get now. So it's just analyzing again the information that it's got and seeing how it can calculate the expected monthly incomes that we're after. So it's calculating the business days, like looking to extend the contracts data to include the monthly income calculations, and then here it's calculating the monthly income for each contract. So then we look at our table and we see that we now have the values from January to December. So like straight off the bat, I can see that this information isn't correct because, as you see, this contract ends in September, but there's values all the way to December. So we need to prompt ChatGPT again in order to recalculate. So could you please recalculate based on the start and the end dates? There shouldn't be calculations after the end date for each contract. And could you please format the values with commas and add row and column totals to the table. So hopefully we should get a slightly cleaner table now out of ChatGPT, which we can then compare to our calculations that we made ourselves in Excel. So it's analysing the information now. We have our contracts, we've still got 6 lines, but we see that January this time hasn't got any values in it, although we do expect to see them. But we can see that the end dates of the contracts are adhered to. So we see like this one runs till September, and the second one runs till June 30, May, September. Okay, that looks fantastic, but we need to ask it to fix January. For January, the value is showing as 0, but this should be the number of days between the start date and end of month multiplied by the day rate. So now ChatGPT is analysing once more, and hopefully this time we should see what we would like to see. So here we have our updated table, and now January is filled in, which is very good, and we're going to transfer this information into our Excel file. I'll download the table, and then from that download I'll copy and paste it into the Excel. Here is the table that we downloaded, so I'm just going to highlight the table, copy it and paste it into the next Excel. Now I'm back inside of Excel, and I'm going to paste the table that we got from ChatGPT inside of this sheet. So then now we see that the deltas are there. So we see that although we have information relating to the contracts, that they're not quite reconciling with what we have. So we see that the delta is 856, which just so happens to be equivalent of the day rate. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT and ask it to recalculate. Back inside of ChatGPT now, and we can see, like for example, that this is not correct for working for 1 day. It should be equal to the day rate. So we're gonna ask it, so like, hi ChatGPT, I checked against my calculations, but the values don't seem correct. For example, in January for Sweden, there is an expected income of 160k, but as we can see, it should only be 8,008 as 1 day is worked in January. Also, the final month is looking incorrect too. So now we have our table back again, and we can see now that January is looking much more sensible for the start dates that we had. So then we need to check the end dates as well, and we also see that they are much more in line with their other monthly values This is in Norwegian krona, that's why it's looking so high, and the same here for the Swedish krona. So we're going to put this back into our Excel sheet now and see what we get. So now we're back in Excel and we're going to check ChatGPT's response to see. So here we are now. We can see that we are looking more in line, but there are still some differences. So we can see here that I've calculated that there's 23 days, for example, of work days in this month. So if we divide the value by the day rate, we can see that there's 4 days missing. And then we're just going to check for the second calculation, and that also shows as 4. And then we're just gonna also check. That was correct. So now we'll go back to ChatGPT and see if it knows why it's calculating different. Now we're back inside of ChatGPT, and I just jotted down quickly what was missing from the expected incomes calculation. So I just want to ask ChatGPT. So for the results, I checked to my accruals and had the following discrepancies. Could you please check or provide feedback? So now we're checking the result. So it's taken the notes that we've given and made them look much more presentable, and it's correcting the business days to make the adjustments. Could you please provide the table? So here we have our new table. We're going to download and check. And now we're going to check the answer to what it gave us. And here we see that all of the deltas have gone to 0, so we can be sure that the information provided by ChatGPT reconciles with our file. Calculating these revenue projections isn't the most straightforward tasks, but as you see, ChatGPT is unbelievable at assisting these calculations, and it can be very helpful in checking your sums and getting feedback for making formulas if you do choose to reconcile, which is the most sensible option. I hope you liked this video. Please like, comment and share.